For every champion, for every great, there exists one fight, one night where he is at his best, where he casts aside every shadow of a doubt about himself. For Floyd Mayweather Jr., the boxing prodigy born from a boxing family, his night came on the biggest stage against the fiercest opponent of his then young career. January 20th, 2001, at the MGM Grand, Las Vegas, he stepped in to face Diego Chico Corrales. Less than 5 years prior, on March 19, 1996, Corrales made his professional debut. 6 months later, on October 11th of the same year, Corrales had his 8th pro fight. That very night, Floyd Mayweather Jr. made his own debut in the paid ranks.
He is a 1996 Olympic medalist for the United States of America, making his professional debut, introducing Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather.
Just under 2 years later, on October 3rd, 1998, Mayweather won the WBC Super Featherweight Championship by stopping Genaro Hernandez in 8 rounds. Just over a year later, on October 23rd of 1999, Corrales defeated Roberto Garcia in the 7th round to become the IBF Super Featherweight Champion. Both men were now champions in the same weight class, but the fight between them would have to wait for each fighter to grow his name. On March 18, 2000, 1 day shy of 4 years past his debut, Corrales defeated Derek Gainier in the 3rd round of the MGM Grand. Mayweather happened to fight on the same card, winning a 12-round unanimous decision over Gregorio Vargas. Corrales would fight twice more that year, scoring knockouts over previous Mayweather victims Justin Juco and Angel Manfredi. Mayweather would fight just once more, earning a 9th round stoppage over the drunken masher Emmanuel Augustus. By the end of the year 2000, boxing was ready to pit the two super featherweight champions up against one another. When January 20th, the new year came around, patrons packed the aforementioned MGM Grand to witness the clash of two undefeated champions, and two undefeated styles. Mayweather was a boxer, a fighter who used his quick reflexes and superb defensive skills to make his opponents miss before punishing them with a litany of jabs and right hands. Fans called Corrales the super featherweight Tommy Hearns, such were his proportions. He was tall and carried frightening power that lasted all 12 rounds. His best punch was a left hook, and he combined his power with an iron resolve to win a fight no matter what. If he wanted to beat Mayweather, he'd have to wade through the barrage of punches in order to land the perfect shot himself. If Mayweather wanted to win, he had to be perfect without any defensive relapses, and he had to be perfect for 12 rounds. Regardless of the outcome, it was not supposed to be easy. The bell rang and the fighters took to the center of the ring. Corrales stalked Mayweather, who himself opted to use his footwork to circle and shoot jabs from the outside. A minute into the fight, a sharp overhand right landed for Floyd, and he showed Corrales that he too wanted to score a knockout. The first round saw Mayweather control the action, but Corrales managed to find success with hard shots to the body and a late right hand to the head. The success Corrales had in the first round evaporated entirely when the bell rang to begin the second. Mayweather circled constantly to his left and peppered his opponent with left hooks while Corrales pursued hopelessly. He was unable to land a single significant punch in either round 2 or 3, but though he had lost every round, he continued to push forward and try to bring the fight to Mayweather. Corrales began the fourth with a powerful jab that stung Mayweather, and within the first minute of the round, he had landed 2 strong right hands. Mayweather continued to be defensively responsible, but he spent the round being comparatively timid, and Corrales began finding shots to the body. The shift in momentum was small, but it appeared that the fight was getting to be even more than it had been. Still, a boxer the likes of Floyd Mayweather knew how to keep his opponent from getting too confident. In the final 10 seconds of the round, Mayweather landed a combination that culminated in a left hook and a right hand. None of the punches landed too cleanly or hurt Corrales, but they were a reminder that Mayweather would not simply let the fight get away from him. In the 5th round, Mayweather returned to form with his lead left hook. He routinely caught Corrales coming in with a counter before moving out of the way. In the second half of the round, he began to throw his jab again, both to the body and the head, and within 25 seconds left in the round, he landed a right hand that halted the movement of El Chico. In the final seconds, he landed a cuffing left hook that punishes Corrales' head between the 2 top ropes. Corrales returned to his corner with little confidence after being made to miss and fall off balance constantly. All his corner could do was tell him to rough him up. At the same time, Floyd's uncle, Roger Mayweather, told Floyd to keep up the same pace and bring up the volume in the 10th, which was still to come. The 6th began, and Corrales tried in vain to rough him up as his corner suggested. But it was another round for Mayweather, who managed to land a left hook with 11 seconds left in the round that shook up Corrales. Prior to the fight, most believed that Corrales held the power advantage and possessed the better left hook. But power means nothing if you cannot find the target, and Chico had barely even landed a left hook through the first half of the fight. He was getting beat at his own game by a man most thought was smaller and weaker. If Corrales wanted to win the fight, he'd need to get something going in the 7th. The fight was half over and he had only won a single round at best. But if he believed Mayweather was slowing down, he was sorely mistaken. Between rounds, Mayweather flashed the camera a goofy smile and he told his uncle he was feeling good. There was no indication that he had been in a championship fight. Mayweather looked like he hadn't been in a fight that night, but Corrales looked like he had not been in a fight in his life. He came out in the 7th and was dropped immediately by Floyd's left hand. Chico beat the count easily and smiled, but he was fooling nobody, least of all the man across the ring from him. Mayweather remained cautious for the remainder of the round, sticking to his landed jabs to the body to further weaken the legs of Corrales. With 39 seconds left, he landed another left hook that sent Chico to the canvas. This time there would be no smile. Instead, Corrales crossed himself twice before returning to the fight. It didn't help him as Mayweather dropped him a third time in the final 10 seconds of the frame. But the bell rang and Corrales breathed a sigh of relief with the knowledge that he'd be spared from Mayweather's punches. For a minute at least. Diego Corrales, who had become a legend in the boxing world for his impossible comebacks, received the news that his corner would stop the fight if he didn't throw punches in the next round. None could ever fault the courage of Chico, who was entering the 8th and new man. He let go lefts and rights with reckless abandon, and for the first time that night was able to land a meaningful left hook. He may not have won himself the round, but he won himself a chance to fight on, and fight on he did. In the opposing corner, Mayweather found himself at the center of familial drama. His father, who no longer trained him, had approached the ring to yell instructions at his son, who then replied him informing him that he had hurt his right hand. Roger, his trainer and uncle, implored him to not let that hinder his performance. The 9th round was less eventful, and Mayweather seemed to need some time to recover his stamina or remove any remnants of the corner drama from his thoughts. He threw his left almost exclusively, and Corrales was able to last the round without obtaining significant damage. But at this point, Chico needed a knockout to win, and he could still not find Mayweather no matter what he did. After the round, his corner tried to give him advice, but the first time in the fight, he interrupted them. "I'm giving you guys all I got," he told them. There was no anger or desperation in his voice, and his tone was that of a man who had come to terms with the reality of the fight. No technical advice would help him there, and he knew the fight was kill or be killed. The bell rang to signal the 10th round, the round Roger Mayweather told his nephew would be the final one. Corrales came out looking to pressure once again, but he had no answer to the defense of Mayweather. After being made to miss for the first minute, he got more aggressive. With 1 minute and 36 seconds left to go in the round, Mayweather found himself a left hook that crumpled Chico to his knees. For a moment it seemed as though he wouldn't get up, but at the referee's count of 7 he shot up, but his strength was dwindling and his prospects for winning were all but destroyed. With 54 seconds to go in the 10th, Mayweather dropped him again with his ailing right hand. That was the 5th time that night Corrales had gone down, but the man they called Chico would not stay down so long as he had an ounce of strength left. For the 5th time that night he rose to his feet and told the ref he was okay to fight. But out of the corner of his eye, he saw the towel that his corner waved to call off the fight. That towel meant an end to the punishment, but it also meant an end to his undefeated record in his championship reign. He begged the corner not to stop the fight, but they wanted to see him live to fight another day. The referee waved his hands above his head and the contest was over. Corrales was game and as brave as they came, but the night belonged to another man. In the crowd, Roy Jones Jr. handed Floyd Mayweather Sr. his pass to enter the ring. In spite of any drama, he approached his son and embraced him. More than anything else, there was love between the two Floyd Mayweathers. The fight was over, but Mayweather's era had just begun. Though greater fame and money laid ahead of him, he left what was arguably his best work in the ring that night. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you wish to hear more about the history of boxing and other sports, please leave us a like and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. I am Hookshot Drew and thank you for watching today. Be kind and have a great day.